discussing the issues and celebrating the successes of the African American community. This is Another View.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Another View. I'm Barbara Hamley. Terry Riddick and his brothers grew up in neighborhoods where doing something positive was not the norm. In spite of their surroundings, they were determined to make a difference. When their cousin was killed in a gunfight, they knew it had to happen sooner rather than later. Tonight, Lisa Godley shows us how they are changing the world, one teen at a time, with the region's best-kept secret.
It looks simple enough, giving a child a free haircut, but it's the conversations that take place while the child is in the barber's chair that makes the real difference.
Randy.
For the length of the haircut, Terry Riddick and others who make up the best-kept secret have a captive audience, but they don't start out advising their clients to avoid gangs and stay in school. Terry says they start out just listening, and sometimes they hear quite a lot.
One time, a young man, he had a red do-rag or something in his pocket, a member of a gang, and I asked him, questions like, what drew you to joining a gang or being interested in being in a gang? And he was like, "There's nothing for me to do. A lot of the kids don't have nothing to do," or he'll say, "Well, my parents don't care anyway." Or my mother, she's never home. My dad's locked up, he's in jail. So that's one of the stories that really, touched me and stuck with me.
Terry says regardless of what they hear, he and his brothers never degrade the person, but instead share their own story of growing up but pressing on just the same.
Just tell them, man, you got to keep your head up and you got to stay in school. That's the only way you're going to overcome, man. You got to be strong. And you got to believe in God, because that's the only way we're surviving this, is walking with Him.
When Terry, Wilson, and Randy first started out, their goal was to feed the community and entertain. But so many people were doing the same thing that they needed something to separate them from the pack. And the free haircuts have pulled them way out in front.
When we go to the community talking about free haircuts, everybody comes running.
Terry says it's nothing for them to cut 80 to 100 heads in a single session.
Sometimes we'll set the time at 5 hours, but of course we're going to go over 5 hours because we want to make sure we get everybody that comes to the door. And we don't turn anybody back. So we never left the community without somebody not getting a haircut.
When 16-year-old Andre Turney saw how the group was changing lives, he knew he wanted to be a part of it.
What they do and how they want to help the youth and how they want to make the society safer for the young kids to grow up into it. I'm like, I want to do that because I want to feel like I have a part in making somebody else's life better than what mine is, and so their children and generations can grow up into a safe society and not have to worry about killings and robbings.
When they're not cutting hair, the brothers are still working to make things better for their community.
Me and my brothers, we went around and we gave out free football cleats. Because football season was coming up. A lot of kids can't afford football cleats. Because I know my football cleats cost over $100-some when I was playing football. So I know the kids, parents, they can't afford it, especially single mothers, they can't afford that stuff. So that's what we did. We gave away like almost 100 pair of football cleats.
Members of the Best Kept Secret have taken 10 guns off the street and helped former gang members learn trades through the Job Corps. Their dream is to take their mission nationwide.
That's why we're linked with so many different organizations, because it's important. We can't do it by ourselves. So whatever we can't do, there's other organizations out there that can do it. And we just make the phone call and they're there just like that. And we want to be able to get out to the prisons and the jails, and we want to be able to actually meet them at the gate and say, look, you can't go down that path anymore. It's time for you to do something different. Come on, walk with us. We'll show you the right way.
And there's no doubting that. For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.
And to find out more about the Best Kept Secret, visit www.bks.imspace Monday is the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, and WHRO is airing a special documentary called Rising Up, featuring compelling personal stories of the civil rights movement in Virginia. Tune in for Rising Up on WHRO TV Monday night at 9. And we thank you for joining us this evening. Next week, our editorial roundtable. We'll see you next time for another view.